What is up, wrestling fans? I'm Ben Allison, here at Wrestling Republic, and I am joined today with Clark Taylor, and we are going to be predicting the next main roster WWE champions. Let's kick things off with the United States Championship, which of course is currently held by Solo Sikoa, but I predict the next champion will be his former friend and his former feud and the former champion, Jacob Fatu. What about you, Clark?
I'm in complete agreement here. Jacob Fatu is the logical next United States champion. I believe it. There's a lot left to be done there. And here's the thing for me. I'm under the impression that Jacob Fatu is main roster ready. Main roster. World Championship ready.
He's on the main roster.
World Championship ready. I apologize. Having a United States Championship run and building it a la a Gunther type of a situation with the IC, being dominant with that title, I think is worth it for Fatu to sort of keep him out of the world title picture right this second, because I don't know exactly where he fits in. I know he fits, but you're kind of going square peg round hole at this stage with both Cody and Seth at the top. So to have Fatu with a dominant US title run this time around as a springboard to the world title picture, I think makes the most sense.
I'd absolutely love to see that. I'm in complete agreement. But as for the Women's United States Championship, currently the champion is Julia. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have a clue who is going to dethrone her. So I'm going to pick somebody who I think is going to get called up from NXT fairly soon in Jordynne Grace.
You scared me to death as soon as you said that, because I did the same thing.
Oh,
Jordynne Grace is a great pick, but I'm taking Sol Ruca.
Okay.
To be the next United States Women's Champion and dethrone Julia. Familiar, they work together. The match can be off the charts between those two. I think that's a big thing. It can be a big moment for both, bell to bell, because you can put on a steal the show type match, Sol Ruca and Julia, for that title. And so I'm going with Sol, but I don't think Jordynne Grace is a bad pick either, my friend.
I mean, the SmackDown Women's Mid-Card division right now is like so empty, or everybody who's in it has already like feuded for that title.
And elevated.
Yeah, that is true. So I do reckon it's going to have to be somebody from NXT and actually I say my entire picks are under the presumption a draft is going to be soon, because surely it has to be at this point in time now.
Same. I've got a few. I'm just waiting till we get down the list for you to laugh at me on a few of mine, because I've done the same. I've taken liberties. I've made assumptions.
Up next, the Men's Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. The first time we filmed this video, we had to cut it really quickly, because we were talking about the United States Championship, and I accidentally read off my Intercontinental pick. Of course, the current champion is Dominic Mysterio, and I am predicting he is going to lose it to AJ Styles. They're currently feuding, and I do think that's the direction they are eventually going to go in. But what about you, Clark?
Well, I've got an interesting pick here when it comes to Dom Mysterio, because it's one of your pick, AJ Styles' old rivals.
Ooh.
Let's get John Cena the Grand Slam in San Diego at Survivor Series. John Cena is the next Intercontinental Champion, defeats Dom Mysterio in the 619 area code itself, San Diego, California, at Survivor Series to complete the Grand Slam. That's my pick, Ben, and I'm sticking with it until it doesn't happen.
I really hope that happens. You've now sold me on it. You really have. I really hope that is the direction they would go, because Dom, to get that spotlight, to even in losing, to be John Cena's probably second last match, that would be incredible for him. So yes, please, can we see that? Up next, Women's Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Becky Lynch currently holds the belt. Again, just like the Women's US title, I'm a little bit stuck on this one, but I am going to go for Stephanie Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer. Ooh, that is a really good pick, because to be honest, that's who I had on my list. But I'll give a flyer pick instead.
All right, okay.
I'll give a flyer pick instead for continuity here. Liv Morgan, when she returns from injury, wins the IC title and can play I was the workhorse to return. Now I win the workhorse title. I'm going with Liv Morgan as the next women's IC champion, because that was my backup pick. Vaquer is my original, but that's fine.
Fair enough. I mean, that is a good pick as well, but would mean Becky is going to have an awful long.
I
I actually
kind
we
of
don't know how
think
long
she
this can be
is.
out.
I think this is something for stat padding,
Yeah.
essentially, where Becky having that type of a long reign, being this early in the IC title picture down the road. Remember, Becky Lynch held it for so long,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And at this stage of Becky's career, sort of the opposite reason that you would keep Fatu out of the main event picture, the main
Yeah.
title picture, because of his youth and readiness. Becky being on the other side of her career and ready as well, consistently to be in the main event, to occupy that role as gatekeeper of the mid card,
Yeah.
I
No,
think
I
is
get your
something
point.
really special and cool. And so I could see a very long reign for Becky.
I would very much enjoy that. But up next, the Men's World Tag Team Championships, of course, currently held by the Judgment Day over on Monday Night Raw. I am predicting they are going to lose them to Braun and Braun, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I reckon that's the direction it's going to. Would be a little weird, as it would mean 3 heel champions in a row for those tag belts. But quite frankly, I have no idea who else could take that off them.
I mean, it's a great shout. I had a hard time coming up with a team, but I've come up with a team, not only a team, but a theory. I've come up with something I'm really excited about, and that was not pun intended with Austin Theory.
Oh, I was getting excited then.
Not at all. I'm talking about, we've had the return of Nikki Bella lately on TV, not Brie. One of the best things that they did was Twin Magic. And I think a squad of El Grande Americanos
oh my gosh.
are our next tag team champions. Twin Magic is brought back. We're going to see Americano. The numbers game will catch up when the squad of, it's like multiple Doink the Clowns. History repeats itself.
I'd be fuming. I will be absolutely furious if a variety, not just 2, but a variety using Twin Magic of El Grande Americanos
they just
win
keep
the
coming.
tag team titles.
There's tons of them. More and more. There's 15 of them under the ring.
They've got to keep this going into the Royal Rumble this year, just so you can bring out multiple El Grande Americanos every time one gets eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
And the IWC would be in tears about it. You can guarantee that. But up next, let's go for the men's WWE tag team titles. Of course, currently held by the Wyatt Six. I don't really know. I'm going to predict Fraxium. I hope it's pretty deadly, but I highly doubt it. What about you, Clark?
I'm going to take Talatonga and JC Mateo. And correct me if I'm wrong on their new name. I forget. They did name them. It's like the
MFTs.
MFTs. Yeah. Kind of like NFTs. Maybe not in the spotlight as much as you would hope these days. But at the same time, I'm going
just a little bit of a dig at both them
JC.
and NFTs.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone's catching strays today, but I'm going with JC Mateo and Talatonga in this one. The artist formerly known as Jeff Cobb and Hikuleo.
Right, a great call. Up next, the women's tag team titles, because I think Flair and Bliss, a makeshift tag team, are going to lose the belts to another makeshift tag team. I am predicting Rhea and Io Sky are going to be the ones to take the tag team gold, keeps them both out of the world title picture for a little bit, and I am a little bit fearful that some fans will turn on Rhea if they continue pushing her in that scene, even though she is that popular, she deserves to be. But what about you, Clark?
I love that pick, but honestly, this one's going to be on brand for me based on this show thus far. I'm going to stick with Twin Magic, and I'm going to stick with giving accomplishments to people late, and I'll take the Bella Twins as the next champions because they're probably the most famous women's tag team to not hold these titles, considering they didn't exist during their career.
Yeah.
Giving the Bella Twins that accomplishment, I think, would be awesome. And it's also a great way to finish the story between Alexa and Charlotte in a way where it's a respectable loss to a Hall of Fame team.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you there. And I actually predicted the next WWE champions a few months ago on this YouTube channel. And then I made a prediction for the World Championship, which I said I was going to stick by. So I'm going to stick by it. I think because of fans turning on him a little bit in recent times, especially online, there's a significantly less chance of this happening now compared to when I made the prediction. But the Royal Rumble is in Saudi. I still predict Sami Zayn is going to win it. And I still predict WrestleMania 42, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn finally wins the big one, finally wins the world title. What about you, Clark?
So I'm not sure here on this one. You said CM Punk, right?
No, I said Sami Zayn.
You said Sami Zayn as the next world champion. No, you mentioned Punk at some stage there. Never mind, because that's my pick. I was the one that was going to say CM Punk finally gets over the top and he defeats Seth Rollins, because guess what? Seth Rollins has had his number at every single corner. And CM Punk finally gets the job done and beats him. And that's when Braun and Bronson get really unleashed on Punk. And they make his title reign miserable. As miserable as possible, but you flip the script because now Punk is the one on his horse that can get away from Seth Rollins. He can escape now. The ding dong, the witch is dead. We tell that story, right? I'm not afraid anymore. Kevin from Home Alone. I like that. Sami Zayn, I think, should win the title from CM Punk down the line. But I do think our next world champion is CM Punk, because I think we'll see that title change hands before Mania season.
Yeah, fair point on that one. I mean, it would make a lot of sense if we're being honest, but I'm sticking with Sami Zayn. I've said it all along, and I'm going to stick by that prediction. Up next, the Women's World, Naomi, of course, the current champion. Look, we know she isn't medically cleared, and we're not going to speculate on anything sure. Maybe by the time this video comes out, you guys might know a little bit more. But I think the next champion for this Women's World Gold is going to be the champion, in fact, who has won the most titles in not just WWE women's history, but WWE history, full stop. I am predicting that Vacant is going to be the next World Women's Champion, but that doesn't count. Instead, I'm going to predict that the next one after that is going to be Bianca Belair. I think she's going to return. I think she's going to be on Raw. Don't know if they're going to do a draft, or I don't know if they're just going to ignore the brand split, but I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. What about you, Clark?
I'm actually going to go with someone in that basically same stratosphere here. I'm going with Jade Cargill. Ooh. Bianca Belair, I think, is a great pick, but I do think after Vacant drops the title, it will be to Jade Cargill, who finally gets over the hump and wins this one. I think it's much deserved, and I'm excited about that, to say the very least.
Absolutely. Up next, the big one, the WWE Championship, of course, held currently by Cody Rhodes. This I am really stuck on because, to be honest, Clark, I do think there's a possibility the man you just mentioned a few minutes ago, CM Punk, actually could be the guy to do it. Especially because we've seen it teased the past 2 years ahead of WrestleMania, Cody and Punk. It would make sense. You could do the teases there. It would be very logical. But also, another feud, which is the one I'm going to go with, which you could do a similar thing, is Randy Orton. I am going to predict that Randy Orton is going to be the next WWE champion. He hasn't held it in years. He deserves it once again, and I reckon he's going to get it once again. What about you?
I apologize because I had to head fake you earlier because it made me nervous. The next WWE champion is Sami Zayn. I've got Sami Zayn when it comes to the draft and all of that. Forget the world title. I don't need Sami necessarily in that picture. Sami Zayn wins the WWE Championship over Cody Rhodes down the road. I am all over that. That match as a main event match at WrestleMania. Sign me up. Where do I sign? Sami wins the Rumble.
The heel?
Nobody. It doesn't matter. We just proved that at SummerSlam. Nobody.
That's true.
With that one, I'm more comfortable with babyface versus babyface. Also, in my eyes, Cody Rhodes just is a heel, so it doesn't matter to me anyway. We've already got a bad guy. What are you talking about?
Should have seen that one coming. Fair enough. A bit of a wild shout there, but I do like it. Up next, the Women's WWE Championship. Tiffany Stratton currently holds it. And like we mentioned, a draft I think she's going to go back over to SmackDown. She was on SmackDown last year. She's going to go right back over. She's going to be a heel once again, but she's going to be a crazy heel this time. And that person is Bayley. We started to see the gimmick change last Monday on Raw, and I reckon once the draft happens, Tiffany Stratton is going to be the victim. What about you?
I've got Bayley beating somebody for the WWE Women's Championship, but she won't be the next champion. That's going to be Charlotte Flair. When this tag run ends with Alexa Bliss, she will get her redemption. We will stir things back up with Tiffany. She will get a redemption and win as a babyface this time. And then Bayley comes and beats Charlotte Flair in an all-time encounter. Now we're talking. That's the way that I look at it, especially with Bayley wrestling Charlotte as a heel. I'm so intrigued by how that would look, given those two movesets and how great they are in the ring. I think that could be one heck of a story, Ben.
I'd love to see that. I'd flip it, though. I reckon it's me Bayley, then Charlotte, because then, of course, if Bayley's the heel with the title, fans are going to be even more likely to really root and get behind Charlotte Flair, and that way you've got, more people on her side, rather than I think if Bayley was the fight is, contending for the belt, maybe they might flip a little bit. But there we have it, guys. Our next main roster champions predictions. Let us know your predictions in the comment down below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe while you are there. If you want to see more from me and Clark, we go live on this YouTube channel every single day, 7 days a week. Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern in America, and 12 p.m. Pacific in America. We hope to see you guys there. Peace.